How you doing?
I'm all right.
Yeah. How's it for you, mate? 'Cause I think your line of work, a bit like mine, it's very people orientated, isn't it? It's you see people every day, you're bringing joy and smiles to people's faces. It's kind of like it's made me realise how much I love my job. I'm seeing people, I'm having a positive impact on them, and that's something that's been taken away from us both, really, hasn't it?
You know what, Andy? I was mentioning to Tom before. It's the first sort of week or so, I found it really tough. Maybe a little bit longer, it was a little bit of it sounds a bit a daft way to put it, there's a little bit of novelty to it at the start. And then I think the seriousness of it, we all accepted how serious it was and how long term it was going to be here for. I went through a week or so where I really started struggling, with just overthinking the whole thing, and because I've got that much on, and like obviously my festival, I had 3 really big dates in May, really good dates as well. One of them was in a hotel over the water, which was really special. I've been trying to get for ages. Another one was in the Barcelona bar, which you might have gone years ago, opposite the 051. I was trying to get that for ages, so I managed to get back into the Barcelona for the night. And we had the Big Love at the Shankly all in May, so they all got cancelled. And then obviously my Ravin Fit went as well, because we can't obviously go into no gyms or anything like that. And at that point, the severity of it all just started kicking in. The more and people were phoning me about work, and lots of venues were asking me, do you want to take dates on in October and November? And I just couldn't get no answers, because everywhere you turned, Andy, you didn't know when it was going to end, when you could pencil anything new in, when Ravin Fit had returned, what was going on with the festival. And I was just like, I said to a couple of my business partners, look, we just need to put work aside for a little bit, like that we can't get no answers to, because I'm going around in circles and I'm struggling with it. And that was at the start. I set my Twitch up and my music. And as I said to Tom, like yourself, it's only when you get the stuff you're passionate about taken off you, you realise how much it means to you.
Yeah.
And that's why I had to start doing the Twitch stuff. And music's a massive part of things for me, and to not have anywhere to play any music, whether it's me Ravin Fits, me gigs, me private parties, me weddings, me 40ths, all my own events, I had to get my teeth stuck into something I could get passionate about. And as you said, it's tough, innit, when it takes all your inspirational stuff, the stuff you're passionate about, off you, it becomes quite hard.
Yeah. I think we're having a job, sorry Tom, we're having a job that you love. It's different then, isn't it? Where if you've kind of got a job where you're not really that bothered about, and you're like, oh well. But like you say, mate, we see, I've obviously followed you for years, but I've had people speak to me about your podcast, about how inspiration you were, and about your music, and about everything about you, reminiscing. I had to go to I pick up a thing from Tool Station just down the road, and I saw a lad, and I mentioned I was having the podcast with you, and he said, oh, he's been doing the reminisce stuff and this and that. And so it's like, everyone kind of knows and loves what you do. And I think when suddenly then you can't do that, it's just an absolute, it's a killer, isn't it?
It is. And the Twitch thing, like everything I do, Andy, if I do something, I really put my heart and soul into it. And people are saying to me, how are you going on there every single night? Don't you need a break? And I'm like, no, because it's like the strapline for it is music is the medicine, and it is for me as well, because it's a chance for me to interact with people, lift people's spirits, and raise money as well. So there was loads of ticks for it. And you're right, I think it's hard to talk about when you talk about other people's jobs, because you don't want to talk like you're talking down about other jobs. But there may be some people who don't love going to work,
Yeah, of course, that's what I mean. There's some jobs, and just some people just don't like the job, do they? That's just unfortunately part of life. But I know through my work, and I know definitely, like I say, through you and everyone who knows you just knows how much you love your job. And we're all listening to you at the weekend on the radio and stuff. It's clear to see, and you're one of the best people I thought of. I've got a few comedian friends in the city, and it's people like yourself and them who've really thought of that. Like, these are going to be gutted, not just from a financial point of view, but actually this is pretty shit for them personally as well.
It is, and our industry was the first one to close. Entertainment, and it'll be the last to reopen. And as much as I'm hoping for the best, I'm preparing for the worst as well, because if I'm being realistic about it, with all the messages that we're getting coming out of the government of social distancing, we're not going to a rave, mate, standing 6 foot apart, and there's no disco hugs. Like it just doesn't work, does it?
No,
it doesn't work. And to be fair, I can't think of many businesses where it does work, Andy. Not just mine. If you've got an hair and beauty salon, makeup, hairdressers, physiotherapist, even a coffee shop, how can you function with social distancing? It just won't work. But our industry is going to be the very last. Mass gatherings, even if I'm looking at one of my smaller events for like 700 or 800 people, I don't know much out for it right at this present moment, unless we get some good news and something changes for the better.
Mate, it's good as well. You with your Twitch as well. Haven't you raised £10,500?
Nearly 11 grand now.
It's insane, that, isn't it? Yeah. Mate, congratulations first off. And also, what I think, having like, obviously it's at 6 p.m, isn't it, every evening? So having that like structure, everything throughout the weekday, and then I know you do radio at the weekend, must help as well. It does.
Luckily I've got, after I had that really a pretty tough week where I was just really a bit down about everything and I couldn't really see much light for anything I was involved in, and my mate's got a gym, Frankie Preston, up in Prescott, and it's Frankie Knuckles' gym, and it's in his back garden. It's like a bungalow, which is type of thing. It's a huge gym he's built, so I've got access to that of a morning on my own. And then, as you say, structure is hugely important, and I've got that. I'm getting up early and going to the gym, coming home. My Twitches are every Monday and Thursday. We do them at 6 o'clock. Then Friday and Saturday they're at 8 o'clock. And the wife's been jumping on with me every Friday.
Yeah.
It's just been a proper laugh, and it's just a good way to interact with people, and that's what I'm missing, Andy. And you probably are yourself. When I'm working and I'm gigging and I'm talking to people, and and I'm playing music and looking up and listening and seeing the response. The good thing with Twitch is the chat room's just so busy. You're constantly reading people, and these broadcasts, lots of people are doing live streams, which are great, but a lot of them are doing them as interactive as I am. It's shouts for the kids, tune requests. They can pick what songs they want. They get to choose the final tune of the session. So it's really interactive, and all the kids are shooting videos, and I'm asking them to tag me on my socials, and it's lovely. And it's, as I say, it's just lifting my spirits and theirs as well. So, and I haven't pushed the charity thing that much. It's there for people if they wanted to donate, and it's gone far better than I thought.
Here's one for you, Lee, from a personal point of view. It's a bit of a funny one, this. So Tom was saying to me for a while, you should maybe look at doing some work online, and I was really dead against it because I didn't feel my motivational talk stuff as big of an impact as they do face to face. And I was a bit like you, just resigned to the fact that I wouldn't be doing it for a while. And then I thought I might be entitled to some help from the government, which I wasn't. So I could
Me neither.
So, well, this is even more like, I'm dying to know how your kind of take on it, because I don't think there's a right or wrong answer, but I'm just so eager to know what you're thinking. So I've kind of went from thinking I had X amount of work on for the next few months to then suddenly now I've not got no more paid gigs. And so I started thinking about doing these motivational talks online. Now, I would love to be able to sit here and go and speak 24/7 and give people hope and hopefully inspiration and motivation and not have to charge a penny. Unfortunately, as great as that would feel, what would not feel so great is being homeless, living on the street, having my house taken off me. So I need to kind of recoup some money. So I kind of thought, for the sake of a fiver, what you'd spend on a pint or a coffee or whatever, you can tune in as an individual or maybe as a company, they can get a load of you to do it. And I kind of done that literally just the last few days.
I noticed that, Andy. Yeah, it's really good.
And it went really well. To be honest, it's had a massive take up on it, and it's given me a bit of light at the end of the tunnel from a financial standpoint, because it was a little bit scary knowing that all my work had gone for the year. So it's given me a little bit of hope. But I got my first kind of negative thing about it last night. And someone kind of said, what are you doing charging people a fiver? There's loads of motivational videos online. You're trying to get a fiver off people. And I was kind of like, well, yeah, I'd love to be able to do stuff for free, but at the same time, it's my job for one. And two, I don't know what I'm meant to do. So my question for you is, one, did you kind of have that thing in your head? And then two, about it's a similar kind of thing. I mean, how did you kind of...
You know what, Ant? Right. it's such. I'm just gonna. Tom, can you hear that door banging behind me?
Yeah.
She must shut it. Hang on.
One sec. What is it? A dog?
No, it's just me door. Like I'm skin tan, so I can't fix the hinges. You know what, Andy? It's so tough to find the balance between. You almost get scared of what social media are going to think of you, and it's wrong. It's wrong because, you know, people look at you and they think, I've had so many people say to you, yeah, but you're fucking all right, aren't you? You're fucking loaded. And I'm like, no, I'm not loaded. I work hard and I do all right. But there's a good chance everything I'm going to do this year is going to be writ off. I'm hoping the festival will still go ahead, but it's 4.5 months away. And at the moment, you know, it's not looking positive, is it? Let's be honest. It's pointless me standing here and lying about it. For a mass gathering of 17,000 people in September the 12th, it's 4.5 months away. We're going to have some good news. We might get that. Things might get better. You know, the count's going down. These next stages might go really well. And you never know, but realistically, there's a good chance if social distancing stays in, everything I'm doing this year is finished. Everything. And I can't get any support at all. My limited companies can't get any. All I can get is a loan that I've got to pay back. I've been on to my accountant today. Like the Ravin Fit, I can't get anything for that because it's my company. I can't get anything from my private parties that have been cancelled. I can't get anything from my events that have been cancelled. Nothing. Only the people that I'm getting, like me missus's wages, she's all right because that can furlough her. So she's been furloughed. She's on 80%.
Yeah.
But it's like, so then this whole Twitch that I'm on, Twitch is actually a subscription platform. It's a TV channel that people, believe it or not, Andy, this is going to blow your head off. It's like a gamers channel, right? There's gamers on Twitch, right, who get $24.99 a month subscriptions, right? And they've got 80,000 subscribers.
I've heard some of the numbers from Twitch.
Andy,
it's insane.
They're sitting there playing FIFA and they're shite. They're not even good at it. But they've got character, they flip when they lose, and like people paying. So my Twitch account, I thought at one point, should I start subscribing because I'm on every night for 2 hours playing for people in their homes, and it is helping people a lot.
Yeah.
And I'm raising money as well. Should I charge? Like there's a couple of tiers. There's a $9.99, 40. Should I charge a tenner, $2.50 a week? To be able to have me in your room, and I thought I'll do Ravin Fit on there as well, so you can go onto my Twitch channel and we'll do a live Ravin Fit at certain times. So it's worth $2.50 a week because a Ravin Fit costs a tenner, but I can't get myself to do it.
Are you not going to do it now?
You understand the feeling, Andy?
Mate,
I'm scared. I'm scared of people going, oh, what's he fucking like? Charging a tenner for that, but people are going, the money he's gotten. You know, this year doesn't happen for me, and our festival doesn't happen. You know, we've spent, I won't go into details, but we spent a lot of money already. We'll never get back on Reminisce. If there was an article the other day about festivals this year, and nearly all of them have been cancelled, and there was a brilliant piece in The Guardian, I think, and it said the survival of a lot of these festivals, especially smaller ones like ours, is not. It's no big company behind ours. It's just us funding it. It's not like Live Nation or any of these big massive corporate companies that own festivals. It's just us. So there was an article saying a lot of these festivals are going to need, the only way they'll survive is if the people that have bought tickets, the majority of them keep hold of them for next year. Because if we have to refund everyone and we've paid all the aft deposits, all the big tops, all the steel shielding, all the radio airtime we've already paid, it's like tens and tens and tens and tens of thousands of pounds we'll never get back. And that's where Reminisce is at. It's not just that. And so, like, it's all right, everyone's saying he's got a few quid, hasn't he? But like, yeah, I'm lucky, and in a sense that I do work hard and I've done well for myself, but I'm not in a position where I could just stop working and lose a year of my wages.
Mate, it's so funny. It's so similar, man, in your story, mate. People look at me with one leg, and I think people think that if you get blown up in Afghanistan, they just throw about 10, 20 million at you. It's not like, oh, he's got one leg, he's loaded. It's like, I fucking wish. And yeah, mate, so I was in exactly the same boat. And I would love to be able to just do a motivational talk, 3 times a week, 4 times a week, and say, look, if you want to listen to me, throw a fiver towards the NHS. I would love nothing more to do that. But the fact of the matter is, I'd be having my house taken off me. Do you know what I mean?
You know what, Andy?
Can't afford it.
The whole Twitch thing, whilst we're on lockdown, I would never ever ask people to pay me for me to DJ. I'm in my house. I'm not going nowhere. It's not costing me nothing. So I'll do it. Do you know what I mean? But that was just an example of like the fear you get sometimes where what people will think, yeah, it's Sky, and you go, look, I'm willing to give up all my time to do this and entertain people, but if I want to do Ravin Fit live on Twitch, I'm going to have to hire a studio, hire a green room, social distancing with the instructor. It'll cost me money, but I'll still do it. But it's just this real fear of, and a lot of people have got it, Andy. I know a lot of PTs and I see people getting slagged off saying, what's he like charging to do some online classes? Well, what the fuck's he meant to do? Yeah. He's fucking got no work.
Yeah, it's such a funny one, mate. I knew I wanted to, because again, I felt a bit awkward. I was talking to Tom about it, and to be honest,
you shouldn't, Andy, because no. 1, you're good at what you do, and 2, that's your job.
Yeah,
that's your job.
Yeah.
You're always going to get them space invaders, mate, on social network, mate. They've got nothing positive to say, so you just ignore them.
The thing I said to Thomas before is like, I have never been so wound up with someone on social media that I've actually sent them a private message to tell them how much. Do you know what
I mean? You buckle them. Kill them with kindness, mate. Kill them with kindness.
I know.
But even to the point of like, maybe it's a little bit different, but like I obviously posted a photo yesterday of us 3, and that was taken, 6 months ago, however long it was. But even on being careful about, this photo was taken before the lockdown. There's a lot of that. You just got to be so careful what you put because of what people might think and say. But
it is. I mean, all I can say is, mate, I'm glad we never had this social media in 1991, 94, 95.
Lee, I wanted to ask you, obviously when you last came on the podcast, you talked a lot about your recovery and bits and that sort of thing and your addiction. What do you think it would have been like for you if obviously this had happened back then and you'd have been locked down during that addiction phase?
Awful. And I say that to you because I'm dealing with people who were in recovery and who were struggling with their addiction via email, and even to the point now where I've started phoning people up. 1, because I'm passionate about helping others, because I know the rewards are just mind-blowing, which we spoke about last time. I know the frustration of desperately wanting to stop but not being able to, and the amount of people that, I mean, even today, I do my Sunday support on a Sunday, so I shot my video, put some posts up last night, some inspirational emails I've had, obviously took the names off and put them up to show people, look, here's someone who was 6 weeks ago in his mum's house, and now he's back home with his family because he's got the book, he's done this intuitive thinking skills course, which I always push people to do. You can do it online now as well, whilst the lockdown's on, and he's really threw himself into his recovery, and look at the rewards he's getting. And then I've done quite a brutal 15-minute one about, like, the technique that I used and where you can get support from and the rewards from it and stuff like that. But today I must have had 20 or 30 emails from people who are locked down, who are absolutely fucking really struggling badly.
Really, that many, yeah.
Yeah, I thank God that I got myself free from it completely. I mean, to a point where, and there's people who, we spoke about my technique last time, and my technique is not like AA, and this me not having a pop at AA, because my best friend 7 years clean through AA and it saved his life, but it wasn't for me. And AA is all about constantly going to meetings. You have 2 or 3 meetings every week, and AA is like, it's one day at a time. So you wake up, you're an alcoholic, and you're going to get through the next 24 hours. And it's all about finding a higher spirit and you're powerless over your addiction. My technique's nothing like that. My technique's about change. It's about, you have got this part of you that is in my case, was using and taking drugs and drinking for 27 years. So that part of me was fucking powerful because it was running the show. It would generate all them thoughts and them voices we spoke about. Just get one, sun's out, the match is on, she's getting on my nerves. Fucking Liverpool have won, we're going to win the league. I'll just have one, just get 2 cans for me. And then before you know it, you've got 2 more, you're on the phone, and it's Monday, and it's all that addictive voice recognition technique I spoke to you about, and all the pictures that your addiction, which I call a beast, will paint. It will paint the fucking best picture in your mind that you getting on, it's going to be good. You're not going to go mad. It's going to be sound. And my technique's all about recognising that, separate yourself from it, and fucking wiping the picture clean and going, hang on a minute. This is what's going to happen. I'm going to say I'm only going to have a couple of lines with the lads and a few beers and I'll be in by 11. But once I've had a couple of drinks, I'll have a couple more. I'll start drinking shots. I'll get on the phone and it'll be fucking Monday. My bird won't be speaking to me. I won't have gone into work. I'll be on the biggest downer in the world and my life will be fucking in bits because my bird's going to leave me and the kids won't be able to come in the back room because the dad's not well, sitting on the couch with the telly on north, having palpitations, thinking the fucking Echo reporters in the back garden writing the fucking front headlines for Monday. Billy Butler's son in drug charge. That's what will really happen. Yeah. And until you can get, my technique was about spotting them thoughts, them voices, them images, this fucking make-believe, sparkly, glittery fucking picture that you're using, and just wiping it clean and painting the real one and learning. So there's people who are in recovery who do depend on meetings every week and they can't go to them.
Mm. And I didn't even think of that.
You know, they can't go to the recovery groups, they can't go to the counselling meetings, and it's like, it kills me to read them, so much so that I've been like phoning people and talking to them, because you know what, having that ability to speak to someone's priceless, because you can do so much on an email, as you know, Andy. You can give an inspirational email to somebody, but it's not a patch on picking the phone up or being face to face with them and talking to them.
Yeah, that's what I've found, mate, with these talks I've been doing. I've only done about 5 or 6 of them, but I mean, just seeing people face to face, them asking questions, and then them messaging me saying, "Wow, mate, that was, so give me the kick up the arse I needed," and all that. It's so good that people get to help each other like that.
I bet you've been missing that,
mate. That's why I said the first thing I said to you was, how have you felt with your line of work? Because, mate, it's just made me appreciate so much how much I love my job.
Yeah.
And I sound dead selfish, but I love being able to, it's just that, it's selfish in the sense of I can't even describe it. It's like, I can't believe I'm getting paid to kind of make you feel good, if you like. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, it's such a, like, how can I just share? All I'm doing is sharing what I've been through, sharing what I've been.
I think it is though as well, Andy. It's what you get out of seeing them inspired by what you do, and I don't mean that in an egotistical way. You know what? I mean, I get up and I get a couple of emails a week from people who are really doing well with their recovery, and honest to God, mate, I can't fucking begin to tell you what it means to me. It's so fucking happy for them that they've took on board what I've said, and they've gone and put some of the, just all I can give people's hope and inspiration. That's all. I can't do the fight for them. I can't do the battle for them. When it gets hard, I just say to them, look, this is what you need to do. If you get a beast attack and you are getting these thoughts of, fucking do it, don't do it, do it, don't do it, fucking get one, don't go mad, she won't know, she's out tonight, the kids aren't here tomorrow, I can fucking get away with it. I said, I can give them the technique and what to do, but I can't do that before them. And like, I know painful that, how hard that, at the start, your recovery, that bit is. It's a fucking horrible, horrible place to be. But when I get, as you say, people message you saying, "Hi, Andy, I loved your talk last night, mate. I woke up today, I'm just so inspired to really crack on and do this or do that. I feel a lot more positive." And people, like, you miss it. You miss it. And I miss the buzz of putting my gigs together and going and, setting the sound and lights and visuals and speaking to people and people saying to me, I'm playing the music and seeing the response. And it's tough when it all gets took off you.
It's made me massively appreciate it, mate. And I guess the good thing is it comes with success, but it's a negative, because I think, well, for me personally, I don't know if you've ever done this as your career's grown and grown, but I've become a bit blasé with it, in the sense that I've never really like mass emailed, kind of marketed myself. I've never really, done anything like that. I was always lucky where talks went well, they grew through word of mouth and repeat business, and it just seemed to roll in. And every week I'd get 5 emails, 3 would turn to paid gigs, and it would just roll on. And then suddenly, I've been like, fuck, I need to do something here, because it's stopped, and it's made me so appreciative of the job that, you know, I'm looking.
You know what, Andy, though? Word of mouth, which is what your inspirational talks probably were. If you're not pitching yourself and going through PR agents and stuff like that to get your work, and you were steady and busy with your work, it's because you're good at what you do. There's no better promotion than word of mouth than someone going away and saying, you know what, you need to get him on. You usually need to do that because he was amazing. Yeah. But I think this lockdown, I don't know if you're the same, but have you grown any skills that you didn't? Not when I say skills, but are you doing stuff maybe that have you started maybe pushing yourself a little bit more into fields that you wouldn't have done if you hadn't been locked down?
Literally, mate, only these last few days again, I kind of was a bit fed up, really, just thinking a bit like yourself, just thinking the way you said to your team, look, let's just focus on, we can't do anything at the moment. I was a bit like that. I've got literally every gig cancelled. I've got a school in November down south, and I was thinking, that's my next gig, November. I'm like, I know, so I went a bit fed up. And then it's only literally been the last few days. I've been speaking to Tom. I've been speaking to Phil, who wrote my book. He's kind of helped me put together an email I can send to companies. And I kind of got back into LinkedIn a bit more. And, you know, it's only literally been like the last few days where I've started exploring those different avenues and thinking, maybe I could do this, maybe I could do that. So it's literally, I mean, that's kind of starting to happen with me now.
I'm the same. The thing with me, if you look at the positives, the whole Twitch thing, I mean, and raising the money is amazing, it's brilliant, and I've loved doing it, but the whole Twitch thing's dead exciting. It's a brand new platform for me. Lots of people are going live on Facebook and Instagram, and I could have done that. It's a much bigger market for me. I've had to build Twitch from nothing. It's a brand new app I had to get everyone to install. I had to get them to log into it and follow me on it, which is not easy when I've got tens and tens of thousands across my Facebooks and like 50, 60,000 on my Instagram. I could have just gone live on there, but the platform's not as good. Copyright situation, everyone's getting their streams taken off and you have to put it back on, and so I just thought, you know what, I'm just going to start on here. And Twitch is that exciting, there's loads of great bits to it, and I would never have done that and set that Twitch up. And so after this is finished, there's a really exciting platform for me there to get stuck into.
I said to you before how much like the quality on Twitch is so much better than, because I think you did do it on Facebook once or twice, but it kept cutting out because of the copyright.
You think Facebook, under the circumstances, would relax their guidelines regards copyright music? I mean,
I know.
And you know, there's people like, the great thing for me is seeing all these DJs online playing. I've seen a couple of negative bastards posting saying, fucking everyone thinks they're a DJ now, everyone's online. So fucking what? If they've got decks and they're passionate about the music, it doesn't say they're trying to be a fucking superstar. But if they've got decks and they've had, or they might be 50 odd and they've had turntables and they love their old rave scene and they've got, so they're going live, because what else are they going to do? They enjoy it. I've seen someone else post, seeing that some of these DJs DJing online to fucking 7 viewers. So what?
Yeah.
Maybe one of them viewers fucking really enjoyed it. And you know what? Maybe the lad who actually was on the decks playing his music fucking loved that hour and a half, 2 hours. Some negative bastards about.
Mate, the thing, sorry, Andy. The one thing that just about those numbers as well is the internet's a strange place, because you kind of forget that, like, you'll probably play to, I don't know, how many people do you play to on Twitch?
You get it. The good thing with Twitch is it's so efficient in the way they work. They email you with your viewing stream summary. So like Friday night with the missus, and bear in mind the missus is tidy, so she's bringing a mass audience of lads in. Okay. So you can go back and you can create yourself some little highlights. You know, you can edit your stream afterwards and post little clips of it. And every time she's taking these signs that we make up to the webcam, it's like, oh, big tit shots on the webcam. No wonder we've took a grant tonight for the NHS. But it's like you get a stream. So on Friday we had 4,400 viewers.
Mate, just think about, like, sometimes with the internet you forget, like, what some of the stuff we put on YouTube. You know, some interviews might get, you know, our Jamie Carragher's one's done very well, like 60,000 views or whatever. Others might get a little bit less, but you forget that, like, even if 1,000 people listen to it, you put 1,000 people in a room and look at 1,000 people, it's a lot of people. So 4,000 people is a lot of people, but
it's deceiving with Facebook as well, because what happens is when you go live on Facebook, you instantly capture the market, right? And so everyone starts commenting, and sometimes it can be deceiving on Facebook because everyone's commenting underneath each other. Oh, what a tune, this, that. I remember when this and that. So it looks like it's really, really, really busy, but when you look at the actual viewing numbers, it's not that much more than what I'm getting on Twitch now. And it's so solid on Twitch, and so it's great. And you know what, the Liverpool Premature Babies unit, which is obviously really close to me heart. My youngest three were all born like 3 months premature. They were all like £2 born. They were tiny. And my youngest lad, Cameron Knight's like 6'4", but he had like chronic lung disease, and he came home on gas and air and on oxygen, and they're just amazing in there, and they're struggling so bad. They've opened this new centre there called the Big Tiny Steps Centre, and it's for really, really premature babies that really are unwell. And they've only just launched it, and obviously with social distancing, as you probably know, Andy, there's loads of charities that can't fundraise, and fundraising's a massive part of these charities. The only funding they get off the government's never really enough for them to cope. So they messaged me and about it, and I said, look, let's just see how we do, and it's gone great.
Brilliant, that, mate. I think as well, mate, going back to what you said there, Tom, about the numbers. A couple of things I talk about it all the time about the commando values, and one of them is unselfishness. And I say to people all the time, you know, life is hard enough anyway. There's no reason to be selfish. There's no reason to be a dick. Like you said, Lee, you know, if someone's playing to 3 people and they're enjoying it, and the 3 people listening are enjoying it, and so what?
You know what, Andy? It's brilliant as well, because there's so many young DJs, I'm seeing them online, who've just got their setup on, and it's that exciting for them as well, because they're getting, some of these don't get a chance to go out and play. It's difficult to get any work as a young DJ now, really tough. 1, because there's so many wanting to do it, and 2, it's not good money for these young lads. It's not. You know, they might DJ fucking all night, 50 quid or something, these young kids, and it's like, it's shite.
The thing, mate, as well, it's all about what I believe now, and what I've learned over the years, mate. It's about not so much the numbers. Although, and that's the sad thing, really, in social media, people will look at people with big numbers and think, wow. But actually, it's down to the impact you're having on someone.
Absolutely.
And if there's only a room of 10 people, but you're having such a huge, powerful impact on them, then that's all that matters.
Absolutely. And this is what I said to a few people online, and they were like, and I just wrote underneath, said, look, so what if he's got 7 viewers? So what if, I said, that lad or that grown-up fella or that young girl who's got their ex, maybe they're locked down and they're fucking struggling, and they're made up playing some music for 2 hours, and maybe 6 of their mates are tuned in and they love it. Leave them alone.
Yeah, exactly.
It's great to hear someone like you say that as well, Lee, because obviously you're very well established, been doing it a long time, and I think it's nice for someone like you to say that, because again, it can knock someone's confidence, can't it, and stuff. And if someone has to go for the first time and then someone says a stupid comment saying, oh, only got 10 people listening to you, it could potentially just stop their dream already in its tracks, you know.
Absolutely, mate, absolutely. And I don't know if it's just since you know, I went through all my recovery and come out the other side, but I'm so passionate about being nice nowadays. And it sounds fucking sloppy, but it's true, mate. I'm just like, I've got such little time for fucking negativity and moaners and just people who just drain the life out of you and don't like seeing other people do well and won't give everyone a hand or like, I just can't be arsed with them, Andy, you know. I just can't. I'm bad for it now. I'm just like, I just people like yourself who were inspiring people, and other people who were just willing to just not asked about the claim they get for it. Just do it for the fucking right reasons.
Yeah, totally, mate. It's great, mate. And yeah, no, it's awesome, mate, today as well, how successful not only your passion has then turned into helping the NHS as well. And not only that, mate, like you've just said then, just helping people, whether it's 10 people listening to it or 4,000, giving someone or a group of people, whether you're on your own raving or it's you and your missus or whatever, you're giving people smiles a couple of times a week. Do you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
I think that's huge, man.
There's been a couple of young, like, obviously I'm across all my Facebooks, there's like, I see loads of them going live, and I always dip in and comment, because you know it's nice for them. It's just one sec, I'm just live on this stuff.
Mate, do you think you'll put your Ravin Fit on Twitch then?
Yeah, I'm gonna.
Yeah.
I'm going to, yeah. We've launched the Ravin Fit home workout. It's brilliant, you know. So we've just had our website redone, ravinfit.com, and just before we went into lockdown, we wanted to move into like home workouts, because lots of people from outside the Northwest are always messaging saying, can't we have this in Newcastle, can't we have this in Southampton, bring this to Manchester. And we're that busy locally with it, like across the Northwest, Wigan, Widnes, Warrington, Liverpool, Ormskirk, Maghull, all these small pockets, that has a massive desire for me, because you know when you see the market but you can't actually go and do it, it's frustrating. So I was like, we need to make some really good home workouts, but that really capture the whole theme of like a workout that feels like a night out. I don't want just a girl to camera on a green screen. I want more than that. I want graphic equalizers. I want clips of footage. I just want it to feel like it's, you know, like it's lively and it's exciting. And we've launched one tonight. In 20 minutes, 5 o'clock, it goes live on the website. It's free for everyone. It's a full Ravin Fit workout. I host it. Loads of big screams and shouts from me. The instructors in the studio. Loads of graphic equalizers, countdowns, all the instructions she's shouting comes up on the screen, and it's dead good. And that goes on the website tonight, free, at ravinfit.com.
That's exciting, man. You know what's brilliant about that as well? My ex-missus, Alba's mum, we're really good friends, and I was around there the other day and I was talking about you that we had you on, and she went, his Ravin Fits are brilliant. Now, she's not someone who I would have thought would kind of be into that. And I went, how do you know about his Ravin Fits? She went, oh yeah, no, I know all about it. And I just think that was great. How it's not only...
I know, it has, you know what's great about it, Andy? It's just, it's so much fun. And that's why I miss it so much, because it's like, it's that interaction with people again. It's that fun, that like real adrenaline buzz that we're giving people. And it's so many people that sometimes I get caught up in the rave bubble, I call it. And it's just sometimes, and I've noticed this on Twitch with all the audience and all the chat rooms, so busy. Sometimes I get caught up in a circle on a bubble of thinking everyone used to go raving in, whether it was the Quad, the State, the Buzz, the 051, wherever they went, and they still do. Well, that's probably fucking that many of society. There's such another market of people who, yeah, they did used to go out and go raving or go to them clubs and love all their old school music. But you know what? They settled down, they had kids, they got a job, they got married, and they look back at them times and go, yeah, I used to love that, but they don't do it no more. There's a massive market to that. And that's what Ravin Fit tapped into as well. People come to them classes who are 18 to 65, and some of them go, we don't get a chance to go out no more. I've got 4 kids. And like, this is just, and the amount of messages of other people who just miss it so much, because it's like a social, it's something social about it as well. It is fun, it's a tough workout, it's as tough as you want to make it. Follow the instructor, it's fucking dead hard. You want to just dance and do bits of it, you can. No one's asked. And people are missing that adrenaline buzz of like, it's like a little mini night out.
Yeah.
But there's a massive market of people. I've noticed it on Twitch. People are going, oh my God, I haven't heard these tunes since I went out in like 1995, 96 or 2000. I haven't been out for 15 years. Like I'm a solicitor now, or I'm a mum of 4. And you think, there's a massive market of people who aren't like me, who fucking grew up.
But also, obviously now everything's got, if it wasn't already online, now it is 100% online. So more people, you know, if we'd have had this discussion last time we had you on of doing Ravin Fit online, then you would have probably came out with the comment that, nah, it's not the place for it. But I think now people are more like, look at
Absolutely.
us doing this. I personally, I hate interviews over Zoom, but I'm slowly liking it more and more. But
and this is what I meant to Andy before, is like, I think the world will change a little bit, because, well, it will obviously, but I think the way we are, you know, like I'm not the most sex savvy person in the world. I can mix tunes but I like regards setting stuff up and technical stuff. I'm fucking rubbish. My kids have to sort of.
You did quite well just clicking the Zoom link though.
I know, mate, that's about it.
I've got this microphone that I'm not even using because I couldn't set it fucking up. Thanks so much.
Well, Andy, lots of people are now becoming more tech savvy. Like, and I think going forward, the Ravin Fit thing, as an example, Tom, you're right. We probably wouldn't have launched that and got that done as well. We wouldn't have. We just shot the footage because we knew we wanted to see if we could come up with something any good for it. Once lockdown come in, I went, we need to make these look absolutely brilliant. And we've been working on it for about 3 weeks, and everyone's like screaming, saying, where's this own workout? Because I said we were doing it, but I wanted it to look right and feel right. But we wouldn't have done it if it wasn't for this lockdown. And it's something we will definitely look at doing more of. And I think there's a lot of situations like that where people are finding new niches and new situations where they're thinking, even like just the way you shop. I've found ways of fucking buying stuff now, like beard dye and that, but I don't have to go to the shop. I fucking made up. I'm using bright red at the counter in Boots going, skis that beard dye there. I'm now going to order it to the house.
A big thing for me, mate, loads of people would message me on the various social media platforms and say, I'd love to come to one of your talks, but unless someone lived in Liverpool and I put one on, or worked for a company that had me in, there was no way of ever hearing my story. And there was some people who maybe followed my journey from when I got blown up back in 2009. Have kind of followed me on Twitter or liked me, with a Facebook page, and would probably love to kind of hear it, but there was never a way for them to see it. And now
brilliant example of what I'm saying is, like, you probably would never have done that if this. You would have continued in our normal ways and of how we work. Yeah. And I think you're going to find lots more things popping up where you go, you know what, I'll keep that.
Yeah, I think I'm going to definitely use this more. I mean, I've done a talk to a sales team in Canada a couple of nights ago, and you just think, I would not have been in Canada doing this, or like the opportunity just wouldn't have came about. And it's
don't you think that new way you're doing it now, where you're doing these inspirational talks over, is it Zoom you're doing them on?
Yeah, Zoom, yeah.
Yeah. Don't you think that's something you may continue to places that will never get to come and see you talk?
Definitely, mate, yeah, definitely. I still, don't get me wrong, I'd still love to keep on doing them properly, but yeah, without doubt, there's just so much more scope to just reach people that you would never have get to speak to before. So it's something, mate, yeah, I'll 100% be using going forwards, definitely.
Listen, whilst Tom, just pointless asking you about your tunes, Tom, you're probably into all, like, what do you reckon Tom's into? You know what he's into?
No idea, mate.
I reckon he's into like live guitar music or something.
No. Do you want me to let me get my iTunes thing up? I tell you what, one of my favourite tunes is Stardust. Music Sounds Better With You.
Oh, yeah, that's Tom. That shocked me a little bit. You just look like two students. He's a pull anything like that.
Yeah, let me, whatever, yeah. Mate, I got all sorts. Yeah, I got all sorts.
I'm the worst person, when you said as well, Lee, about playing music, even going to fezzies and stuff. I'm always the person who goes, I've got like some mates who are really into music, and then they'll say, like, if you go to a festival, right, they're on that stage, we need to watch them, or we need to watch them at this time. I'm the type, I'll just go, I know I'm going to have a ball, I'm with all my mates, I'm at a fezzy, I'm going to have a ball, whatever to do. So I never really thingy too much. So I'm always the type of person, I'm going, what do these sing again? And then 5 minutes later, I'm like, fucking hell, it's these.
It's them! Yeah. You know what? There's something good about that, though. There's something great about that. When I've been doing these Twitch sessions, I've been creating features. So I've created this feature of the Hidden Gem, and it's a tune that I think when I play it, it's going to be one of them songs that everyone knows but doesn't know how to Google or even know what it's called. And they're the special ones. Yeah. They're the ones that when you play them, that you've completely forgot about them until they come on and you go, oh, fucking hell, I still love this. Yeah. What is this? And,
one of them was Pete Heller, Big Love.
Oh! He's one of them cool ones who went to Cream. You're not, aren't you, Tom?
No.
You're one of them cool ones. Defo.
Mate, when I was at uni, I used to, I'm trying to, who did you used to go and see? Jamie Jones and all that lot, yeah. And
listen, Andy, we're dealing with one of them proper cool clubbers there, you know. You know when we were into our Scouse house like this? Right, or this. Right. He's listening to Pete Heller, Big Love, all the Cockney DJs who were coming and playing that cool, and everyone's just going. me and you are bringing the 3:10 in from Alicante like that. Air traffic control, and he's got like a pair of pegs on.
I only went the 05 maybe probably 10 times, and I just wish, even a couple of years older, I think even just a couple, because I was already bloody sneaking in at 15, 16, but I just wish I could have properly enjoyed it a bit more. Do you know what I mean?
I know. I think when you're that young, and you're sneaking in places, you're just thrilled to be in, aren't you?
Yeah, but saying that though, as much as you're thrilled to get in, it's one of those, if I listen to it on the radio or whatever and you hear the song, it just still takes you back.
It does. It
like,
does.
Yeah.
When you used to go, when did you used to go there, and then did you just fall out of love with that sort of club scene, or did you just go and do what you were doing then? Did you, or
you know what, mate? I always talk about this actually with the lads I go to match with. They're all from down the South End and stuff, and I always feel like there's a part of my childhood where I kind of stopped being a Scouser for a bit and stopped going out and seeing that scene, because at 17 I joined the Marines. I was based down south for a year.
I need to get you on my podcast. That's what I need to do.
Yeah, definitely.
To get you on mine to quiz you. I've got loads of things I'd love to ask you, so we should do that one time.
Yeah, definitely. So I feel like that kind of 18, 19, 20, 21, I was either training to be a Marine, I spent a year of my life out in Iraq and Afghanistan, and then I was blown up. And then I had like years of rehab, so there was a good few years where I didn't live life as a 21, 22-year-old, so I've kind of made up for it the last few years. Yeah. So yeah, mate, my kind of ritual was the 05 every time there was a big event on and stuff. But then it was Brown Bootle for me. The Mate and Sully, Yates's Mate and Sully's were a big kind of...
So last night, Tom,
Yeah.
I mentioned to you, didn't I, about I'll have my music by me. So I messaged Andy, said, Andy, look, have a think of some tunes that you used to love. Said like years ago, I said, I'll try and dig them out for you. I said, we'll play a few little clips of some tunes. And he was like, I'm going to have to go on Spotify and start Googling stuff. And you know what he sent me today?
Go on.
He sent me like the CD sleeve covers.
Yeah.
You know, like it was Taylor Dane. No, it wasn't. It was Kelly Lorena.
Kelly Lorena.
True Love Never Dies. He sent me Too Funky Too. And I was like,
have you got it there now?
Yeah, man. So I can picture Andy here with his Jag ID. This is what when he sent me it, I was like, this is Andy in the queue here. Like, big Tony Bellew, Tony's dad, was on the door. Joey Lynch. And Andy's like, what do you reckon you weighed then, Andy?
Oh, about 60 kilo, about 10 stone.
He'll have had his clobber on, nice pair of jeans and a shirt, and he'll have been panicking in the queue, he's not going to get in. And as he's got in there, he's got in and got in the 051, he's walked down them legendary 051 stairs, and he's got into his little spec. Now, everyone had their own spec in the 05, you'd either up on the balcony, or there was Scally's Corner over in the corner. I don't know if him and his South End mates used to go into Scally's Corner. That's where he was a bit dodgy. You could get
all the North Enders then. I was with all the North Enders then.
Yeah.
Yeah, all the bootlegs.
So this is one of the ones he sent me, and he picked a good one, to be honest with you. Now, this was originally done as a bootleg, and then what Andy sent me was Kelly Lorena, so then Flip and Phil redone it. But when it first come out, it was just this bootleg. But as I was playing it, I was picturing Andy on the middle of the dance floor, I was thinking, I wonder when I was in the DJ box, was Andy there just like...
Everyone's on that. Everyone just felt like it was just all about you, and you were just...
I'm going to skip it on to when it kicks in here, Andy, just for me and you. Here we go.
Only me and you, a secret rendezvous out to live by. They try to keep us from each other.
Swear, Andy.
They used to battle up, secret up.
Stop there, this is shite. Here we go, songs like that, give me me funky house songs. Like. You know what, Andy? Let me ask you to buy your second choice, right? Because you know when you're DJing like for as long as I have just in Liverpool, the tunes that you get asked for so often that you think, oh, for fuck's sake, and this is one of them. But it just makes me realise how many people love this song, and like because when I'm out, I have to play it every single gig near enough. And I have had to do it for like so long. But then when I messaged him last night, it was on his list, and it just made me realise like how much of a big Liverpool tune it was. And like For me, I hear this song so many times, and when I'm doing my Twitch, I'll probably play it all the time. And going to my gigs, and people are coming up to the DJ box and going, "Can you play it? Can you play it? Can you play it?" But the likes of you, when's the last time you heard that? Brothers and sisters! And I often wonder this because I think, why does this song annoy me so much? Because I've constantly been asked for it, persecuted for it all the time when I'm at my gigs. But then I'm thinking the average person who's like, I don't know, say fucking a joiner or a girl who works in fucking opticians, how often do you think she hears? When's the last time you heard that song?
Probably at like a party, you know, like that someone's requested,
like a long time ago, though.
Yeah, oh yeah. But I just think it's one of those songs where it'll just take me back to just being young and just going out and not having a care in the world and just, you know, that was it. Like there was nothing else, there was no responsibility, no nothing. It was just go out and listen to these tunes and just be around your friends. And
did you also find that like
this is one of them cheese ball that Tom eats. This. I'm singing this to you, Tom. Right. You're sitting there with your mouth and head top on.
I need to add that.
You, Tom. This is where Andy used to be in the 05. He's trying to tap a little girl up.
So good.
Oh, I love
so
it.
good, that song.
Andy, did you go at this the 051? Yeah.
Yeah.
I never heard about it until you talked about it, Lee, on the podcast last time, and the state and everything. Now,
you know what's probably a sin, Lee? You know where I never actually went to though, the Sunrise, for some reason.
You know when I went and done my show on Radio City at the weekends, right? So I was in town for 11 o'clock in the morning and just deserted. I put some pictures up on my Insta and stuff like that of like I wandered around town, taking some shots, you know, the streets, and like I always park my car next to the 051. And I took some pictures of the 051. I took a picture of the Sunrise stairs and put it up on my socials and said, "Who remembers these stairs?" I'm like, the amount of people. But I never played up in the Sunrise. It was more like Little John and Mark and the lads were there. I was too keen to get home and go round the bend on my own. But they were all upstairs carrying on till 6 o'clock. Did you not go there? No.
No. And again, I probably only went to the 05, probably anything between 5 and 10 times, because again, it was just that, or when it was coming to an end type thing, when I was just started even. And like you say, I probably didn't appreciate it because it was just that this is my first time in town. Do you know what I mean? First big event that I'm going to and stuff. So again, that's why I wish it was just a couple of years older, just to actually, it can be more.
Got it a bit earlier.
If everyone's talking about it now, why did it close then? Considering so many people talk about it and like reminisce about.
It's it's funny when people talk about like legends in nightclubs, and we mentioned it last time on the podcast. I think when people fall into this trap of looking back and thinking everything was amazing back then, and it's far more violent now. But you know, as I said to you last time, the Quad shut. It was only open for 2 years, 1991. The best nights ever. Brand new to us. We'd never heard the music. Our brothers and sisters or mums and dads had never been playing it as we grew up. It was brand new. We were swept away by it. But then the Quad shut because there was trouble there. People were getting had off. Then the state was the same. There was murder in the state, and the state shut because there was a shooting, and the buzz was the same. And then the 051 ended up the same way. It had a great run. I was there for 10 years, and then before me, James Barton was there, and like.
I think that's the thing with life, that though, mate. You know, you look like, whether it's relationships, whether it's football, whether it's on a nightclub. You know, you never remember the bad things. You always remember.
No, you're right. You're right.
Stuff, and that's just.
Well, the 05, I think everything runs its course to land on it. Like, even, you know, to have a nightclub open for as long as that was, I suppose, was a long time. It was open for like 15, 20 years, and I was there for 10. But in the end, it was just like, it just run its course. There don't be as much room for them big venues anymore, Andy. Them venues that hold 2,500, 3,000. It's times have changed. There's too many bars, bar culture.
I'll tell you what did happen though, mate, and this was probably a couple of years ago, but it was maybe 14, 15 years ago, I was last in the 05 or something. And about 2 years ago...
I'm going to say that you're probably talking about 2005, aren't you?
2004, 5, yeah.
That was the last year. It shut in 2005.
Was it, yeah. Yeah, so that was the last kind of couple of years then. And I remember being out in town maybe a couple of years ago, and I bumped into a girl who I necked off with in the 05. Don't know how we like bumped and remembered each other or something, but she was just like, "Do you used to go to the 05?" And I don't even know how we managed to get chatting. And yeah, like it was just
that's quality.
We used to have a thing where we like always bump into each other there, and we'd seen each other a few times there and stuff, and so you just think it is a big part of people's lives. You know what I mean?
It is, yeah, it is. And Liverpool's like, we're lucky, as I said to you last time, in Liverpool, we're very lucky to have such an amazing heritage of like of dance nightclubs and such an amazing history of them, and it means a lot to a lot of people. That's why the Ravin Fit's so successful, because it's the music. It's a massive part of Ravin Fit, because it's...
What are your big music ones now then, Lee, that you look back at? You know, you asked me for mine. What are your kind of couple of ones where you think...
I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll play you the track I used to play, and I don't know if you'll know it. I reckon you might. A track I used to play in the States, and I took it with me to the 051, and it's one of my favourite tunes, without a doubt. And I reckon, even though you only caught the back end of it, I'm wondering, do you know this? Flick it on a bit. This was 1992. But you must know it. I used to finish with this in the States for years. Well, I mean, you probably don't know it now, but you must have heard it before.
Yeah, no, I've definitely heard of it.
And it's miles before your time.
Yeah, I want to go out now.
I've heard it as well, yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, I've heard it, yeah.
What a guy. See, I haven't...
There's, I was just going to ask... Go on. You're going to get another song on now, aren't you?
No, go on. You crack on.
Mate, there's so many DJs as well that if I think... What was the night that I went to? Is it Shipping Forecast or something?
Yeah.
Who's the guy who runs that?
Good venue, that, though.
Anyway, yeah, but there's like yourself, and then there's a few other DJs that have come out of Liverpool that have gone big style, haven't there?
Yeah. I mean, look at the Camel Fat lads now. I mean,
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Jesus. Yeah. I was making music with Mike Descala, like when I was in the 051, and he was just lived in his mum and dad's house in Brookside, and we were in the studio just making like Scouse House tunes.
Yeah.
We had the BCD Records label, and we had like Bamuchi Bam and all them big Scouse tunes that we made. It was just me and Mike and Les, and like he's just such a talented lad. I'm so thrilled for him, because he's just like, he was ultra beat. He had a #1 with Pretty Green Eyes. That was Mike. He sung that song. He's just massively talented, and he works so hard for that. To get that break. And that Cola track, as I say to young DJs who message me or anything, I say, get into production, start making music, because one big song and that's it. You're global, like.
Cola's such a great song, isn't it?
Yeah. It's so good how you hear about teenage kids making a song on the laptop at like 14, 15 years old, and then
totally
just blows up.
There's loads of them now. Avicii was the same.
Yeah, Avicii.
Young lad, 17 in his bedroom. Like Martin Garrix, who had that Animals track. Yeah. He's like just global now. They're doing like multi-millionaires. Well, he's not, like, obviously.
What's your ultimate kind of Scouse song then, or like maybe not it could be your favourite, but something where you just think, this reminds me of just Liverpool, and it's not so much one that only you know, but it's like,
yeah. So if there's like a get out of jail anthem where maybe you're doing a gig and the floor's not moving and you're thinking, I need something big here, then. And it is one of my favourite tunes as well, and it's one of the biggest girly anthems. You're going to know it 1,000,000%, Andy. So are you, Tom. We'll flick it on a bit. If you've ever stuck at a gig and you think, these are a bunch of boring bastards, these. They're just not moving. And you play this, and the bass line kicks in, and they fucking still don't move.
Yeah, you're
That's going on. Get Billy and Wally to drop fucking third finger left hand. Because this bass line, it's got to work. Even Tom, I can see Tom here, starting to move a bit. Here it is, Tom. Tommy!
Yes.
Oh yeah, of course, yeah.
But
Who is that by?
Sandy B.
Sandy B.
Make the girl go round. She's been on Reminisce a few times, so that's one of the classics that. And the good thing is, as you know, Andy, like my daughter's 22, she knows all the words to that. I'll do an 18th birthday party, play that, and they know every word.
Mad, isn't it?
Yeah, so
good podcast. This wouldn't have turned out if this whole lockdown hadn't happened. We wouldn't have had the tunes.
You know what I've liked about this, mate, as well. Mate, I don't know about you, but mate, and I know Tom's did as well. My personal, Tom's personal, and the Legged podcast kind of one. Mate, the messages we had off our last chat, fuck me, mate.
One that we did together, us three.
Yeah.
Oh, mate, it was mad.
You know what?
Mad.
It was the most enjoyable podcast. I mean, I've done a few of my own, right? But that particular podcast, mate, was just a big turning point for me as well. Like, you guys make it so easy to talk as well. He's so good at letting people just feel like they're just in the room with the mates, and it's just a gab. And I managed to speak about recovery, get that message. Because when I'd finished doing that podcast and I went home, I was like, because I knew what I wanted to, when I went to come to do it, I was looking forward to doing it. And I was a little bit nervous about it because I knew you were doing lots of them and you'd had some really good podcasts. And I wanted to make sure it come across right. And I was like, I wanted to get the message of recovery across, but I didn't want to drive it down people's throats. And I wanted to talk about some funny stories. And I had so many amazing like comments about that podcast with people. Even now, I had a girl message me yesterday who said to me, Lee, I've just watched your podcast with Andy and Tom. She went, and some of your stories about the quad and where it led you to is just like listening to myself. And that's probably what's similar to the ones you've had, is like people just relate to it.
Mm.
Yeah, I had to apologise to Tom the other day because it's got not kind of gloating, but I mean, the amount of messages when we first started, I used to always screenshot in the message and send them on and say, oh, look, someone enjoyed it. But getting that many now, I hardly bloody send them on, and a lot of them are like that Lee Butler one, fucking hell, mate, and the amount of people who referenced your one, partly because it was a trip down memory lane for them, but partly because they could see themselves in your story, mate, and I think that was just so powerful, mate.
Yeah, it was, and it's but isn't it nice to get them and read them, Andy?
Yeah.
Sorry, mate, go on.
I was just going to say, so it's been nice as well to get this a bit more interactive, to kind of listen to your passion a bit more and like being in lockdown.
It has, yeah. I mean, look at that cat wig though.
Mine, I told you I've got bloody.
Miss, whatever wax you've got, mate, send it over to mine.
It's good stuff, that, isn't it?
Yes, it's not moved.
I just in regards to the podcast, I think it's funny you should say when you drive away, because when we drive away, and I don't know about, I'm sure Andy has the same, it's like I always come away hoping that the guest has got, what they want out of it, and that we try and make it as comfortable as possible, because it is, regardless if you do this, I know you're on the radio all the time, but still going into a room with,
Andy. I was nervous doing it.
Yeah.
Well, I was nervous on my way, and because you want to impress is probably the wrong word, but
I think it's somewhat the right word, because you want
to make a good impression, not only on you guys, but on the people who are listening.
You want to give a good account of yourself, don't you?
Of course you do, yeah.
And I think, mate, I felt it, I don't know whether Tom has as well, but I felt on a couple of podcasts, yours was one of them, and I think Tony Dodson's the first one as well, where I felt like the guest had felt like, wow, it's been like a bit like therapy, do you know what I mean? And maybe they went into it not thinking it would be, or maybe they did or not, but then I think with yourself and Tony, and it was probably two boss guests to have it done with, but it was like,
Tony's brilliant. I listened to Tony's not long ago when I was there. Do you want to walk?
It was two fellas just being brutally honest, mate, and it was like emotional at times, and I think just to see two fellas just break down all those barriers and just say, look, this is what I was like, and it was fucking powerful.
It was. Yeah. And it's only when you come away, it can be quite overwhelming when you've done them and you come home and you're like, did that go well or didn't it go well? I enjoyed it, but did that come across okay? It's tough to know yourself until you listen back to it, and then more importantly, it's the feedback that judges you, isn't it?
Or even to the point where I wish I'd said that, or I wish I'd said it this way, or you know, and then not sort of again. I think we've all got our flaws, and maybe some people, you know, suggest certain flaws in this podcast. But I think one thing that we do, at least try and do, is we you know, I certainly don't want to be the star of anything. I think maybe the same with Andy, and the star for any podcast shouldn't be the people who are hosting it. It should be the person who's giving up their 2 hours, an hour, whatever their time. You know, they should be the star. They should be the people that are being left to talk, you know. So
what was really, really nice and enjoyable about the podcast when it came to use was there was just no pressure on the table. Like, I went into it nervous. I was nervous on my way, but by the time I sat down and we started talking between us, it just felt like I was sitting in a room with having a really good gab and a laugh and talking about some stuff I'm passionate about and opening up about stuff that I want to get a message about. And that's what's nice about it. You know, like, it's not easy to achieve that.
I think what I've said to Andy before, but I don't know what your thoughts are on this, but I do think that TV screen and being able to pull up clips just reduce, like, it doesn't feel as if it is a normal podcast. You know what I mean? It feels that, oh yeah, let's have a look at that. It feels that you know, it drops it down a level.
What are you doing then, Lee, with your podcast then? Tell us about that.
No, I haven't done. I've done John Cotton, I've done Dave Graham, I've done Rob Kane last. Rob's went really well. He's just such a proper Scouse lad, Rob. But I haven't done any for a while. Oh. Which is disappointed me a little bit, because it's partly down to me, but when I've just been that busy that I haven't got round to going and nailing another one. I enjoy doing them as well, because they're like this. You just, what's good about yours? It's not like, are you ready now? It's just, we're all in the room and it starts. It's like, I didn't even know it started until I went, oh, we're on.
Half the time. Like, what about what are you doing the face events with Tony? Aren't you on Friday as well?
Yeah. He's doing a big takeover 2 o'clock in the afternoon till 10 at night. So all the DJs have got together and we've done a load of DJ sets and just some big stars, and Jamie and a few of the others who are doing little clips in and out of the links. Just a bit of fun, really, and something to keep people occupied. And it's Tony. He's so passionate about when he gets stuck into something, mate. He's like,
yeah, we're talking about Tony, who's our mutual friend. He's my running coach, and I spoke to Tony last week, and I think I was on the phone to him for an hour and a half, just putting away rights. Like, do you know what I mean? Proper, like.
That's how I'd tell you what. I love the bones of him, mate. He's got an heart of gold. He has. But you know what? Sometimes I wish I could just take one of his batteries out.
What's he doing? Is he obviously can't teach anything, can he? Or
he's up for coming on the podcast, by the way, Tom. And
is he? Yeah.
It'd be a good one, that, wouldn't it, Lee? Talking to him.
If he's prepared to open up and be honest, he'll have some belter stories to tell you. You know.
I said that to him, and me and him just spoke a lot about, and it's probably links into a lot of what we spoke about today about passion, because he's so passionate about running, and how mine and his story come together about him teaching me how to, you know, run faster and faster and break this world record. It's such a cool story for those who kind of don't know. So it'll be nice to get him on.
And you know what, Andy, and as you probably know, his running really helped him mentally as well. You know, like I didn't know that until I started speaking to him in detail about it, because he was saying to me, you should start running, Lee. It's so good for your mental health. He went, it really is. He went, and like he said, I was like, had a slightly nervous disposition, didn't like talking to people or felt uncomfortable in certain situations. I started running. He said, and it changed a lot for me.
I didn't know any.
I know.
Yeah, no, it's good. That'll be good on Friday then, mate, as well.
I know. I'm going to finish with one tune here, and we're going to have a little mashup, Tom.
All right, yeah,
I'm not sure you're going to know many of these, but it's a mashup from the Quads and Park in 1990, this. And you're going to know loads of the riffs, but there's loads of short riffs. So you know that, don't you?
Yeah.
So Alison Limerick, Whales of Riffs. Going into a famous rap that you'll probably know from the bass heads. Is there anybody out there? Still with us up. So, 1990 we're in now, and you both must know this rap. I wonder whether you'll know this riff, Andy. I give it all for you remember this song?
I've heard, yeah, I do, but I don't know. Yeah, I have. I've heard it before.
What about you? I can flick it on a bit.
Is it what? It's not Move Your Body, is it?
Move Your Body, yeah?
Yeah.
And then it goes into Jimmy. I'm trying to find the ultimate one for you here. So you know K-Class, don't you?
Yeah.
We all know K-Class. I'm trying to...
I need to get on to more of these things, Lee, that you've been putting on, because I want to proper have a little dance now.
I'm trying to find it. If I had to play, finish off with one, because my dinner's ready, so my bird's swinging, shouting me. But this would have to be. It was 1990, and it was the Cuddon Park, and they came and performed this live, and it went to #1 in the charts. But we were playing it 12 months, like in the quad. They were playing it before that, and then. I think it's still a tune that everyone's going to know, and you'll both know. And this goes mental, guaranteed. You wouldn't think I was 30 years old, would you? I'll see the CD down song. Just one last build-up before we go, boys. We can't go without the build-up. Arms up top. Wait for it, Tom. Oh, it's gone off!
Love it.
There you go, what an ending!
Oh, Lee, you're a
Thanks for the
star.
podcast.
Enjoy Anthem to finish you off from 1990. That's it. We're all off home. We're going to Lobster Pot. Big chili. Balls down our tops. Get home. Hitman and hair on.
Oh, mate, you're a star.
Because I've got to do my Twitch thing in a bit and have my dinner. But
Thanks so much for this, Lee, mate. I
lads,
appreciate
I've
it.
enjoyed it. It's been great.
You're a star, mate. Thank you so much.
Looks good on you, that, Tom.
Cheers, mate. You're a star.